Well, good morning everybody. How are you? Yeah, as to me, I'm very fine and I hope it's the same for you. Welcome to American Dream Online English Training, your training center for learning the English language. Okay, today we are going to have a lesson about climate. But first of all, what is climate? What is climate? We have been talking about climate. You hear people talking about climate in news, in televisions, in newspapers. But what is climate? Climate is simply the weather conditions over a long period. The weather conditions over a long period. What does it mean? It means simply that if you have a given area, for example, you take a country, let us suppose this is the map of a country. Then here in this country, it rains, and over, for example, let's say over 10 years or 5 years, each year it rains from, for example, January to June. It rains from January to June. Over 10 years, 5 years, or maybe more, 100 years, 1,000 years, it rains only. So then we can talk about the climate. We have a humid climate in this given area. So it is the weather conditions over a long period. It might be the sun from, for example, June to December. Then we say we have a humid climate from January to June, then a sunny or warm climate from June to December. So these are what constitute the different types of climate around the world. Weather conditions, it may be rains, it may be suns, and all the related elements, the snow, and all the others. Okay, now, what are the factors, the different factors that affect climate? We are going to list them. Here they are. These are the different factors or the different elements that affect the climate in a given area. We have the altitude, the altitude, we have the latitude. This is not altitude, rather altitude. Altitude, okay. The altitude, the latitude, the winds, the distance from the sea, and then the different aspects. These are the elements that affect climate. The elements that affect the climate are these: altitude, latitude, winds, distance from the sea, and then the aspects. Now, let us talk about Côte d'Ivoire in our country. For example, if you go outside Côte d'Ivoire and somebody asks you about the climate here in Côte d'Ivoire, you should just simply say that in Côte d'Ivoire, generally, our climate is warm and humid. The climate in Côte d'Ivoire is warm and humid. We have equatorial climate and tropical climate. Equatorial climate, more or less in the southern parts, toward the coast, we have equatorial climate, and then toward the north, in the far north, we have tropical climate. So you have noticed that in Côte d'Ivoire, at a different time of the year, we have a wind that is the harmattan, that blows from November to March some years. Okay, this is a wind that is warm. It's warm, and at the same time it is very dry. Warm and dry. Then from March to May we have a hot and dry climate. It's hot and dry. Dry season. Harmattan also is a dry season. Then from March to May, we have a rainy season. Then we climate is hot but wet. It means that it's humid, it rains a lot. This is all about climate in Cote d'Ivoire. And thank you to have been with us, to have watched this video. Never forget to practice, because only practice will help you to become perfect. Thank you, and see you next time for another lesson related to this topic